Hey everyone, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video, Earth 2 as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Also, something about wraithx.eth domain name, and this is not brown-actual advice, ever. So there is a little bit of news to go over today. That's why I'm kind of doing the video. Didn't really have time to do a live stream, so I'll just do the video and get it over with. So we do have a quick update from Shane saying for transparency with regards to Stage 2 for rating. Again, this is Earth 2. Leading into Christmas, our dev team deployed rating to Stage 2 for kind of beta test before we had fully developed some already tested parts and noted it was smooth and intuitive. Thank you, Austin Holmes, but we did it. And the new year is, everyone is due back to work next week. He did say he would be available to work over the holiday, but they didn't eventuate. We've had a team of 3 devs working part of last week and this week on solving a few key issues, but we may need to wait until the lead dev is back for deploying the updates to Stage 2 for PR reviews. I'm not sure if this is too much information, but just trying to be more transparent. I can't provide an ETA, but wanted you all to know there have been devs actively working over the break, and we want to get it live. Also, Shane has been in Sydney doing stuff. He was asking people if they've ever played old school StarCraft, Brood War gamers hanging about. So he was just asking about that. He had an obligation in Sydney, though. There was a tournament there, but, his friend had to take his place because, he was extraordinarily busy. If you're in Sydney and you're into that, let him know. Again, he did mention getting back to Arya Realty. Hopefully we'll see him on the podcast. If Arya Realty would have me on the podcast as well, which he definitely doesn't need to, that'd be super fun. Moving on to Veve and OMI news, there was not too much with OMI. I mean, this is the 3rd day in a row that we're up. But to be advised, we are only up about 0.5% today, and it's not because of any in crazy volume. We're up that because there's $563,000 in volume, so there really wasn't a giant uptick with that, and that comes in conjunction with the market being up a lot. Bitcoin is up 1.2%, Ethereum up 3.5%, and PNB up 5.2%. Really, most of the top 10 outside of the stable coins are up and outperforming OMI. And same with the markets. Markets, relatively flat day for the Dow of about 0.69% so far. Everyone comment nice down below for the 0.69. The S&P is up over 1%, and so is the Nasdaq. So again, there's a pretty good day for the markets. OMI not exactly tagging along for that, staying relatively flat. So just a little bit of info for that there. Still no apparent announcements for Veve on what they're releasing this week as far as a collectible. We do have an announcement that Princess Leia Organa was captured by the Empire as a rebel spy. This is what they're posting. She never betrayed her convictions, even in the face of the complete destruction of Alderaan. We have Star Wars Heroes. Princess Leia drops with 5 cover rarities in blind box format on Friday. But again, David did tease RoboCop, or at least what people are interpreting as RoboCop. It could be Inspector Gadget. It could be the T-1000 from Terminator 2. Most likely it's going to be the former, though. I really don't see the latter. I'd probably Inspector Gadget or RoboCop. And for those of you that do not know, there is a one additional piece of utility you have for the Gold Logo Club is in the actual Veve Discord. There's an announcement from Club Gold Logo holders 2023 is here, and it's time to grow our bonds even stronger. Remember, this channel can serve as a place for fun, giveaways, and most importantly, a direct line to the Veve team. Whenever any of you have feedback, suggestions, or info you want shared with the team, post it here, and I'll pin it to the channel and review them in our team meetings. Again, just more utility if you wanted. But speaking of logo, be advised it has seen a bit of a downturn, as we were once led to believe that David and Dan had ran out of their redemption codes at around New York Comic Con, but then more kept handing out. They kind of teased us a little bit, led us one way, and then they did the other thing, handing a lot out at New York Comic Con, at DesignerCon, and then most recently over in Singapore. So with that, obviously comes dilution a little bit, and you're going to have some things go down, which makes sense. Not too worried about it. But the floor, again, 2,700, and it is a sub 100. If that means anything to you, just letting you know. In other news, we do have Collective Shift. Not a ton of people following their Twitter, 2,800, but on their Twitter, they say, we deliver simple, actionable crypto insights for investors, world-class analysts, personalized crypto strategies, and education. They do have about 1,500 members. And Akomi had tweeted, looking up to brush on your crypto knowledge, ? What if you had a qualified team of researchers doing that work for you? We've partnered with C-Shift.io to bring you exactly that, and you can burn some OMI while you're there. So you can pay for some of the stuff for that, again, if you would like. Oh, and shout out to Justin, person who always comments, for commenting on Sam Hyde's live stream. The live streams are only viewable afterwards for members, but there was about 3,000 people or so there when they looked up VV Live. Shout out for him for getting him to do that. And when looking at the markets, be advised there is a difference between what the floor is and what has actually sold for in the past. Just because you have something, oh my God, it's a $19,000 floor, and this is scarce, and this makes sense, and no, it doesn't. Be advised that when you do have a floor of something that is super scarce, and just because only one or two people are listing it at super high, doesn't mean that the last sale wasn't a fraction of that price. You always have to take a look at that. So I'm just throwing that out there. So this is going to get a little bit NSFW here, but it does make sense, and it does have a little bit to do, or a lot to do with really what AR and VR is. The top relative categories by generation, which was a list done by Pornhub, and it had boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, what they like to search, and the Gen Z, the 18 to 24-year-olds, 101% increase in searching virtual reality in that search bar on that particular website. So again, virtual reality, the kids are into. Shout out to Jen is El Man, 11,000 followers on Twitter, who will be on the podcast later this evening. Cannot wait for that. She's a comedian, actress. I'm going to try to get her into VV, and she'll be on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a little bit of stuff on here. We do have CoffeeZilla saying Logan Paul, and again, this does have to do with OMI and Nakomi. CoffeeZilla says Logan Paul responded, too long, didn't read, 0 apologies, 0 addressing victims, 0 accountability. I will reply in full when I organize my thoughts, but for now, Logan accused me of not reaching out, blah, 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 blah. He shows him a thing. And it says, also, in 2020, I worked with a company called OMI. A founder of Pokemon was on the team. They contacted Logan to promote, which opened him to the world of crypto. We knew that he would spiral out of control, end up really hecking a lot of people and himself. 3 years later, obviously, he did that with CryptoZoo. Logan did, and then thankfully, OMI was unaffected by anything that Logan did. But again, this comes from a guy called Chris Zachman, who is I think he's CEO and founder of DAO Maker. So he's relatively successful, and again, he's worked with Comey in the past, and like I said, he was out there defending us in the comments because people were saying, oh, anything Logan had touched is a scam, is a rug pull. He's like, oh no, actually, this is a legit company. So shout out to him for doing a lot of that FUD busting for us. Last I checked, Journey into Mystery, number 83, Common, was up to 69 gems. Everyone comment nice down below for the 69. Had to. So there is a U.S. representative will swear into Congress on a copy of Superman number 1. When California Congressman Robert Garcia swears into the new Congress, he'll do so on a copy of the Constitution and a copy of 1939's Superman number 1. This is not the first time somebody else has done that. We have had a congressman swear in on Captain America's shield before, and the people that do this, I think, are really awesome. I think it really shows their values, exemplifies what they're doing. Republican, Democrat, I don't think it matters. I don't even know, California, probably Democrat. But again, it doesn't matter. And it just goes to show you that people really like collectibles. People really like, and this is one of the highest honors that you can get, swearing in to be a congressman, like a sitting congressman. And this is what you're swearing in on. I thought it was really cool. Just a little bit of compare and contrast from the past to right now for the markets. At least looking at Bitcoin, things do go in cycles, but those cycles do tend to get shorter. For the first several years, Bitcoin was in this bear market of 4.5 years. Then you had a bull for 1 year. And then after that, you had a bear for 3 years. Then you had a bull for 1.5 years, then a bear for 2 years, and a bull for 2 years. So that's kind of the way the bear markets have gotten shorter and shorter. The bull markets have gotten longer and longer. So who knows where this one goes. I think this bear market will probably be over this year. Will probably be in recovery at the end of this year. For crypto, anyway. And again, that's just my opinion. I've been asked this before about special mints. Special mints meaning number 100, 200, 300, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 420. How do you value them? It really depends on the demand for them at the time. But I would say that if you're looking at a special mint like 777 or 888 or 666, whatever it is, I would consider that to be about the rarity of a sub 100. So with that, I would say depending on the market, okay, take a look at what the floor is, take a look at what the floor of the sub 100 is. If you have a special mint, I would equate that about equivalent to what a sub 100 is. It is shown by this guy named Izzy Escobedo. Says, I'm looking for a powerful Dream Mint 300, and that's the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. Says, if you have it, it would be super cool if you could message me. Thanks. Just going to show you that people do collect those mint numbers, even if you think, I have this one, how much is it worth? To some people, it can be worth a lot. We had CryptoCam say, let's say there are 500 to 600 Mickey Mouse signatures. I'm not sure how many there are. So what is the estimate of the price? Now, be advised, there was only 28 people voting at this time, but 57% of people said that it would be under 200. I mean, if you want to look at the first appearance of Mickey Mouse's signature, you do have the lenticular card. And I checked, it is the same exact signature, so it's not like one's different. They are the same. Also, be advised that snapshot was taken for the Mickey Mouse signature. The All Aboard Secret Rare went from about 300 to about 150, so it did get cut in half. Not as big of a drop-off as Namor had, where it was like 380 and it dropped down to like 60, or like 55, I think was the lowest point. So not that big of a drop. It only cut by half, and we may or may not see that slowly climb up, because again, I think this is really, really good, in my opinion. Just because it's the last of that set. It is a secret rare. It's just really cool. Again, people are still buying. We do have a guy named Jason Mihawk says, I love having disposable income. LOL, just decided to buy this since I had extra cash. And of course, I love Miles. Plus, it was a cheap 3-digit mint. It was a rare Miles Morales, number 642 for $330. And be advised, when it is boring and we have no drops for a couple days, people go pretty wild in the secondary. We had an increase of 45% in the market sales for January 3rd, day over day. 37% of that was collectibles, and 41% of that was comics. And for whatever reason, the top-selling collectibles, the top 4 were all holiday elves. The stamps, Elf with the package, Elf with the teddy bear, Elf with the model car, and the block of 4. I don't know what people see in those stamps. They're stamps. They're, some people like them, but to be the top-selling ones, like it's bananas. And for the comics, it was fairly interesting. Number 1 was the X-Men Holiday Special, and I get it. I don't want to say I've pumped that, but I've said, hey, if you have 2 to 3 gems and you want to read a good story, yeah, that one's really good. Go, if you have 2 to 3 gems, buy the common, or maybe it was Sanjay, Mr. MC1 saying, hey, look, I just got the secret rare, and he comes on and says stuff like that. Then you have Amazing Spider-Man number 93, Journey into Mystery number 83. Obviously, that makes sense. And then the last one in the top 4 was Amazing Spider-Man number 1. And be advised, there is a little bit of FUD this morning. I'm here to address that. We do have... This comes from Hello K. I don't know if he meant to do this or it was just by accident. He says, back to the days of when cash out again for Veve. He's insinuating that Vive's not going to be allowed to have cash out. And why? Because it comes from the news from Blockworks, saying from $1.5 billion to zero, crypto payment platform Wyre shuts down. Wyre will be terminating services in January after a failed acquisition with Bolt in September. This is not all at once, though. The details, you do have a quote saying, we'll continue to do everything we can, but I want everyone to brace themselves for the fact that we will need to unwind the business over the next couple of weeks. CEO Ioannis Giannaros wrote in an email to employees, a portion of which was seen by Axios. One former employee said they have not yet been informed of severance package, and that other workers are concerned that there will be none at all. On December 31st, former employee Michael Stabe said Wyre won't continue as a profitable business. And yes, I can probably see some FUD in the markets. I can probably see some FUD on Twitter, but again, just be advised, the only other, the markets, as far as Veve goes, the only collectible that really reacted, and it wasn't to this news, was that Mickey Mouse Secret Rare, the All Aboard. And that was because the snapshot just happened to be taken last night, and that's why it went down. People are dumping because of that. Had nothing to do with this announcement. I haven't seen anything else tried to be floored. No significant changes. Again, comment down below if you have seen that. I haven't, but also be advised. What are we going to do? What about cash out? Okay, so as I have said before about when I've been asked about when exchanges. Okay, I would imagine, and again, this is just me thinking out loud here. No confirmation of any one thing, but when I was asked about exchanges, I would say, okay, David and Dan, which are both smarter than me, and are both looking at the playing field and have all this data, a lot more data than we all have, probably see a bunch of these other exchanges closing down and, shutting down. So it would make sense that because we're on so few exchanges, they would have one or two in their back pocket, like KuCoin or Kraken or Crypto.com, whatever. So in case Bit4X or SendX or OKX goes down, they throw another one out there for us. I can imagine that David and Dan would not bet all their chips on one company for payout. And they would most likely have one or two other companies to come back in. Dare I say, if that were to happen. Again, these guys are extraordinarily good at what they do. They're extraordinarily thorough. And there's no way that they wouldn't be prepared for something like this. So again, we have had no official statement from Veve as of yet. But the crypto in general is growing. Like I said, Binance just confirmed integration of Apple and Google Pay. I mentioned that the other day. I would not worry about this too much. You will probably see some FUD out there, and you will probably see maybe a little bit of market shift. I haven't seen that yet, but be advised, we're all probably going to be okay. Again, that's just my interpretation of things, though. I would wait for an official statement from Veve, just how I see it. That's it for me. Comment, like, and subscribe. Comment's good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Bye.